Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. Hope everybody's having a great week. It is a glorious day here in Central Arkansas. We are loving it. We are super slammed in the shop. I got a bunch of two-strokes in, so I thought I'd take you along with me on a day of diagnosing, fixing, and fails. We got Ron and Alex up in here. Now that we got the vet running, Ron's doing what to the wheels?
Polishing the wheels before we get new tires.
Yes.
Because these tires are over a decade old.
Yeah. Heading back over here into my hole. I've got 4 that I want to knock out today that a customer dropped off. We have a STIHL handheld blower, a Craftsman blower that, don't know if we're going to work on that one or not, a Ryobi chainsaw, and let's see what we got here. A Poulan. Now, some of you might say these are junky saws. Actually, every time this customer brings his saws in, they usually run just fine. He said they had set over winter, so he wants us to get them started and sharpen the chains. The blower he had given to him, so he says he has no idea what's up with it. He hasn't even tried to start it. And the Craftsman blower is his that he's had for years, but it's been sitting. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of saving time, money, and frustration while fixing your own small engine equipment while watching in-depth tutorials, you've come to the right place because that's what I do. I upload a couple times a week, and if that sounds interesting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. I love to read through the comments, and I will reply to all the early commenters. Now, because I like a challenge, I'm going to start out with the unknown first. The STIHL, what is this, BG86. Customer says he has absolutely no idea about the history, so we're going to go over it from top to bottom, see what's up with it, and hopefully we can make it run. As always, the first things we want to do is check the fuel and the inside of the cylinder. And while we're doing that, I wanted to tell y'all, we're a few days into April right now, and on April 1st, I put a post out on Facebook and on YouTube and showed this picture. I said I had cut all my hair off because y'all were always afraid that it was going to get stuck in chainsaws. Well, it was an April Fool's joke, obviously. I still have all my hair. Oh, we've got a completely dry fuel tank. Okay. Nothing's inside there. Fuel line still is attached. So let's do a compression test. Now, this particular blower does take that small NGK CMR6H or 7H plug. And a lot of times people buy spark plugs thinking that that's their issue. And 90% of the time it is not. But if you have this tiny little plug, it can definitely be your issue. Why they did this, I don't know, but a lot of times they do come in carboned up, and it can be the complete difference between a machine running and not. Let me get our 10mm adapter. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's a C. It's got the easy pull, the not so easy pull. So let me tug gently. Houston, you got a problem. This is stuck. Well, now we know why it was a freebie. So we're going to take this rewind assembly off and see what's going on behind here. Uh-oh. The rewind works fine. That means something's locked up. And this flywheel ain't budging. Well, I'm about 100%. I know what the problem is, and it's actually a simple fix. But just to make sure that I am not working on a dead machine, I want to pull this muffler off, look at the piston, and make sure she's not burned up. Now, unfortunately, she is locked up with the piston all the way down, so I can't see the outside of the exhaust piston side, but I'm going to think that she is probably sparkling because I want y'all to see what the rest of the cylinder looks like. So let me go in here with my endoscope and let me straighten her out there. Sort of hard to get her in, but that's like brand new. Everything looks perfect. Now we have a completely locked up flywheel. This thing ain't gonna budge. This is why the customer got it for free from a friend who's spending a lot of money for this blower. And I've already addressed this issue with Stihl. I've made videos on it, so if you've seen my videos, you already know what the issue is. But they seem to think it's not much of a deal. So I guess we're just going to keep having people think that their blowers are burned up or locked up and trash and give them away or throw them away because of this simple fix. I want you to see here, see that screw behind the flywheel, how it's sort of backed up into the flywheel? There's even a little piece of metal. Let's see if I can get you in there. Little piece of metal next to it. If I flip the blower around on its side here, see if I can show you where it's at. Yeah, right here. All the screws over time back out into the flywheel and lock it up. Now, the other issue that we're going to run into is, although this is going to be a simple fix, I'm going to remove this nut, remove the flywheel, tighten them bolts down, and it's going to be able to spin freely again. Because of this issue, the owner let it sit for so long, the primer bulb's cracked, it has no fuel in the gas tank, which means the diaphragms in the carburetor might have hardened. I'm going to throw some gas in it, put a new primer bulb on it. Hopefully I can get them to loosen up and it won't take an entire carburetor kit. Now, I am going to want to get the air hammer to get this flywheel off. If you do not have one at home, I've made other videos on, in fact, in the last one I did with this, where I showed you, you could just turn it on its side, put a punch on it, hit it with a hammer while you've got a flathead underneath the flywheel to get it off. But to make things speedy, I'm going to use my tools. So I've just got a flathead stuck behind here. Going to use my drill. There we go. And yeah, look at that. Look at how loose that screw, all these screws are, making this base loose. Check this out so you can see where the screws have been hitting the back of the flywheel. All the fins are all shiny. I did check the key inside and it still looks good. So I'm going to pull these screws out, clean them up a little bit, throw some thread lock on them because I don't want them to ever come out again. Go ahead and reinstall our flywheel here. Make sure to line the key up. Oh, turn it where my magnet's not going to catch it. There we go. Put our nut back on. Well, we got the exhaust off. Take a look at this piston. Looks beautiful. I do want to go ahead and take a peek at the exhaust screen and make sure it's not an issue. Oh, well, it's definitely not an issue. Somebody cut it completely off. Go ahead and reinstall my muff. And now I can go ahead and check compression. Okay, do over. Well, guys, I got 105 pounds of compression, which is not good, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to run. So I am going to throw some gas down into the cylinder, see if she pops off. I'm going to have the throttle all the way open since I did just totally flood the cylinder out. All right. Well, we got some potential. I think if she can get some gas, she's gonna run. So now that we know she has potential, she does have spark. If she can get gas, she probably will run, since she was probably running before those screws backed off and locked her up. So now let's address this issue. I'm going to go through the air filter base, take it off, get to the carburetor, replace that primer bulb, see if we can get some gas flowing through it, and go from there. Well, the air filter looks perfect. I'm gonna remove these 2 screws, and I gotta take my side cover off again to get to everything. And check this carburetor out. That thing's got some dust bunnies. Now, STIHL does not make this one fun to get your carburetor off. Ideally, I'm going to want to take this side of the handle off. That way I can release the throttle lever and get the carburetor off, because right now it's attached and I can't just pull the carburetor off. If I want to be, lazy about it, I can get my screwdriver down in there to get these 4 bolts, or these 4 screws off, so I can change the primer bulb off. But I'm going to go ahead. I want to get the carburetor off because I want to look at these diaphragms too. So I got to remove the side cover. Once we get that off, we can pull out our rod right there. And I've already loosened my cap, so the gas won't spooch out on me, because I'm going to want to take off the fuel lines. Oh no, we have a broken fuel line. This thing sat forever. Check this out. So look at this. Let me see if I can, look, it's cracked. So we got lots of fuel related issues here. Ain't giving me hopes for the diaphragm and the carburetor. So instead of taking it from the top of the carburetor, I'm going to grab, I know I've got to replace these fuel lines, so I'm going to remove them from the nipples here. Come off. There we go. And then we can slide our carburetor off. Anytime you have your carburetor off, you want to check these screws to your insulator block here and make sure that they're tight, since everything else can rattle apart. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Just checking. Oh, well, it's actually in still good shape. That's sort of promising. Ooh. So the metering diaphragm's good, but the other one is completely sucked in. So I'm going to go ahead and put a kit in it, even though I could probably get away with not doing it. I don't want them to have issues, so yeah, we're going to change that out. Now, if you're going to be putting a carburetor kit in a BG86C, it is a Zama 155 kit. I have a rotary comparable kit. The only thing I don't like sometimes about the aftermarket kit, sometimes it's not an issue at all. On these rotary ones though, the gaskets work great, the needles work great. Sometimes I don't change out the needle lever. I use the old one because it just feels like it's made out of more of a heavy duty metal. This one though, I don't know. I might go with it. We'll see. But since you've seen me do tons of carburetor kits, I'm just gonna go ahead and blow through this one without explanation. I am gonna show you though, the needle lever screw in this particular one is a torque. And of course, I've got a breakout special set. I don't know, it might be a T8 or a T7. And it looks like it's an 8. I can go ahead and reinstall my carburetor. I can put that on after, I guess. Screw that. All right. Put my side cover back on. Reattach these fuel lines. Let's see if she primes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. We got flowage. Alright, we're going to choke her. Give her some good primes. Try start. She popped off. So this video ended up being a lot longer than I expected. I think I'm going to save those other repairs for another video, but thankfully my customer got out pretty cheap today on his free blower. And hopefully if you had this issue and watched this video, I saved you some time, money, and frustration in the future. Now before I head out though, I do want to tell you about something. I met a really cool kid today. His name is Rock, and he has his own YouTube channel called Rock Solid Lawns, and he's only 14 years old. He's super enthusiastic about lawn and garden maintenance and repairs. He says he watches all of my videos and they've helped him out a whole bunch, and I really was impressed by him. Because as you know, why I'm here sharing this free information is because I feel it is so important for people to repair their own equipment, and he does too. So if you would, I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description box below. It would be super cool if you could go over there, give him a like, give him a subscribe, and tell him Chickanic sent you. So guys, thanks again for tuning back into Chickanic. If you find yourself coming back over and over again, think about hitting that subscribe button. And if you ain't tired of me yet, check this video out right here.